All right, before we get started on my normal video, uh, we're I'm subscribed to J Ride Flips, and his channel's all right, but he's always saying something, and he doesn't like actually do what he says he's gonna do. And again, a lot of us on YouTube can be exposed, but like I've gone on my way to help him out. So, anyways, first and we'll have Arnold make some comments on this. So here we'll get started the video soon.
First, I would like to just get to know you. I want to ask you a bunch of questions. Answer immediately. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
What I recommend doing is a common practice, and that is to look over your listings. I recommend doing this. I do this daily. You can do it
I do not have any money.
monthly or quarterly, but it's really important that you check up on your items.
It doesn't matter.
eBay tracks how long our items have been listed for us, principally because they charge us an insertion fee every 30 days or charge us a subscription.
Don't
but
you
they
understand?
let us know how many days are check up on your items. I practice, and that is to look over your listings. I recommend doing this. I do this daily.
He does it daily. Here's his store. Vintage home and kitchen. And this photo's been blurry since he listed the item. So after watching one of his videos, I had to check his other videos to find out what his eBay store is. And I'm just like, hey man, appreciate the advice, appreciate you sharing what you're selling. Goals of $1,000 in profit a day, whatever, all these different aspirations. He just moved too, so I can appreciate it. But I send him a message through eBay saying, hey, this photo's blurry, you should fix it. And then I sent him a message on just a couple of comments on some of his videos. Like, I actually had a live. I'm like, hey, this item. So I actually typed in the item number and said, this item number. And there's some other ones too. I'm like, your first photo is blurry, but you tell people in your video.
What I recommend doing is a common practice, and that is to look over your listings. I recommend doing this. I do this daily.
You know you're lying.
So I don't like to trash anyone else. I don't like trash anyone on YouTube. Like, hey, I can appreciate you sharing the knowledge, but it just, I don't know. Do you not check your messages through eBay? Like, I literally messaged him on the item is like directly through eBay. Said, hey man, I watch your channel. Your first photo of this is blurry. So he obviously doesn't check his items daily. And then I'm like, all right, he's got 98.7 positive feedback. It's not really that good, but what's the story with that? So just be careful who you, I guess, listen to. Like, every channel has good and every channel has like bad, but let's look at his negative feedback. He's got a lot. My item arrived broken. That is what it is. Sold me a scratched up game. Cannot be played and won't let me contact the seller. Do not buy from the seller. I opened the package yesterday. Went to use the two blue combs. Doesn't work. Battery compartment corroded. So on and so on and so on and so on. It's a lot. It's a lot of negative feedback. So typically from my experience, and I've gotten negative feedback too, like nobody's perfect, but it's usually from like someone's really upset or it's complete just a mistake by the seller. Either you didn't package it correctly, you didn't take close enough photos or good enough photos, or you said you tested it and you didn't, or you did and it worked at the time, but then it like shorts out after 10 seconds. Again, you can't make everybody happy, but anyways, I like to try help out other people out because again, we all make mistakes, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I being too harsh? Not trying to be, trying to help him out. But so Arnold has a way of expressing the way I feel when I'm trying to help out other people on YouTube and on eBay. Here's Arnold's reaction.
Get to the chopper!
All right, so I'm gonna I'm gonna unsubscribe. I'm gonna put until you fix this listing. I'm not doing this to be a jerk. I'm just saying, like, all right, I'm saying until you fix this listing on your eBay store, I will stay unsubbed. Subscribe. And we'll see what he does. Again, there's nothing wrong with this kid. He's cool. I think he's cool, but just, dude, stop creating like content and not doing what you're saying. Like, what's the point of that? So, anyways, back to me. So let's go over some of my recent sales this week. And again, I know I'm not a big reseller channel, whatever, but you know, it is what it is. Just trying to help other people out in the community. And it's like, if you're gonna tell somebody like this is what I do on a daily basis, like, well then do it. If not, just like, dude, don't talk about it. Like, right? It's like, why practice what you preach, right? That'll be the title to this video. So here's my store. I'm not perfect. Here's my store. So 58.89 total listed. Overview of the store. 4,000 sales last 30 days. I do this for fun. I do this to get rid of my old stuff. I have been out there sourcing, going out to garage sales and estate sales locally around the area, like literally 5 minutes from my house, and found some cool stuff. And we actually had a $300 day yesterday during Labor Day, which I was not expecting, because usually holidays, my sales are not that good. So we are up dramatically, had some good sales, and got a neutral feedback. Let's see what that is. I'll expose myself. What is a neutral feedback? He bought my ADT Pulse Wireless day-night security camera for $15.39, and he left neutral feedback because it did not connect to his system. So I will reply. It's asking me for all this stuff. Well, I'll reply off video, but I offer a 30-day return policy. So, like, dude, I don't want you to keep $15.39. Send it back to me. I'll give your money back. So we don't get in fights with our buyers. We are buyers ourselves, so we want to be treated nicely. And anytime someone makes a purchase from me, I leave positive feedback right away. I don't wait for them to leave me feedback. Like, don't play the feedback game on eBay. Just be nice to your customers as they will, as other sellers are nice to you. If you're nice, people will be nice. If you have an attitude or issues or like, it's business. Do not bring emotion into it. If people ask you questions, answer them nicely. Sometimes they will find something on your listing like, hey, I would like the measurement of that. Don't just be like, oh, now I got to go measure it. Now I got to get wasting my time. He's not even going to buy it.
You lie! Stop it! Stop whining! Stop whining! Stop whining!
Right? That's what Arnold says.
You idiot!
So just go do it. Go measure it, because you probably should have measured it and put it in one of your photos to begin with. And I've been getting better. We all want to get better, right? That's the whole point of watching this. So that's me. Like, so I've made some sales. I try and treat everybody nice. I get the packages out right away. My wife's like really annoyed. She's like, I gotta go bring the package. Like today we had a lot. Like I do these like bags, you know, like IKEA bags, where I put like this plastic bin, like half bin on the bottom, so it supports the bottom of the bag, so all the boxes fit nicely. And then my bigger boxes. But the post office is like literally 2 minutes away. There's no excuse. Get out there, you know, to ship stuff. Because people get annoyed. I get annoyed too when I buy something and that seller hasn't shipped it out yet. So let's go to my sales. And this is the way you can check if your YouTube figure is actually selling stuff. So you can go, well, first you got to find like their store, right? So this is the name of my store. And a lot of times they won't put the name of their store in there because they want to sell you like, oh, I bought all this stuff and now they're going to sell it, whatnot. But there are some actual true, like that's all they do is eBay. A lot of other YouTubers I notice too, like they'll jump off their different formats, and maybe that's because an advertiser or a marketing company is telling them like, hey, sell this product. So then they'll be like, oh, you can sell on Mercari, you can sell on Depop, you can sell, like I just sell on eBay. I don't even use Facebook Marketplace. But anyways, so this is how you do it. So you got to find their store. And if they have a store, it's annoying because then you can't really see like what they're selling. But here you could see clearly I have 1,519 items for sale. My sell-through rate is around 20%, which just means every 90 days I sell about 20% of my stuff that I've listed. So, but anyways, you want to click on an item. And it's a little annoying when you're in their store to like actually find it. So you have to go to sellers, other items. Then you got to go, oh, I probably should have just did it right here. And then you just want to type something specific like silver, Morgan, clothing, whatever. And it'll bring you to here. And then you want to hit X. And then it'll show you, okay, this, now we're not in the store anymore. We're in the, what has this seller listed lately. So, and you can see the dates. So you want to go to newly listed. So if someone on eBay, or not eBay, someone on YouTube's telling you like, you must list 10 a day, or I list 20 a day, don't just take the word for it. Like literally look in their store. So I have definitely been listing 10 a day. I only got 2 up today. But if you look back on average, I only got 1 hat up yesterday. But like prior to that, like look at all these listings. It's like, you know, so I've been listing, and it's not like one easy item either. It's like been all these individual items. So I have been getting better at listing items. So I think I listed close to 70 items in the last, well, since the last 3 or 4 days. So I'm kind of like ahead of listing. But who cares? What does it actually result in sales? So let's go to. This is also how you check if someone on YouTube is actually selling stuff. So you go to your sold listings, so sold items, and ended recently, and I have 318 sales out of 1519. So that's where that whole 22% sell-through rate comes from. So anyways, these are my recent sales, and I'm going to go through them so you guys can see what I've sold. And I don't want to hear, like you guys don't have any money.
I do not have any money.
Like really nobody has any extra money, but most people have like $1, to spend on something at a garage sale or estate sale. Plus I look at it as it's a fun opportunity. I enjoy looking at stuff, finding treasures, as long as it's not like I'm not driving hours away. And unfortunately, like some of you guys don't have very active communities, or you're not in like a very, lot of homes around you type areas. So like this, I picked up for $1, right? And I'm like, this is cool. It's playing cards. One of them is brand new. One of them is barely used. And it's like a Christmas deck, comes with this little tin. These look pretty old or old enough, and it's made in the USA. Spent $1, sold it for 10, whatever, probably made like $8 after fees. That's cool. Like that pays for, some food. But it was fun. This is an old CD of mine from my selling electronics back in the day. This was actually from Circuit City, so this one's pretty old, and it had writing all over it. But I knew someone that is into there are audiophile collectors, so there are people that collect older audiophile type stuff, and this is like a salesman sample. So if you find any of this stuff, don't just blow it off. If it looks weird and it's not actually music, chances are it's like some type of demo disc that was given to salesmen back in the day. $17 for this. Sweet. I had this lying around. I should have listed it many, many years ago. Here's a piece, silver dollar. I actually lost $2 on it. So when you do sales, so I have a 15% off sale, make sure you don't put stuff on sale that puts your item below cost. But I'm not one of those sellers like, oh, sorry, it was a mistake on pricing. It's like, you know what, $38, you can have it. I lost $2 on it, but as long as that buyer at the end of the day is happy and he knows like, wow, this is a nice silver coin, he'll probably come back to me and buy more. And I do have buyers, and I know a lot of you guys watch me too. I do have buyers that do repeat business. So I don't mind losing money every now and then because I know I'll make up for it in the long run. But I should have been smarter. I should have should have not listened. I checked like everything when I ran my sale. Here's some old clothes from my kids. They're all adult daughters now, but this literally was in the donation bin, like, or I shouldn't say bin, it was in a donation bag. And I'm like, hey, I paid for all these clothes that you guys are now donating to Goodwill or whatever. I'm going to go through it and make sure there's nothing nice in there, nice enough to sell. Plus, I wanted to teach myself how to sell clothing because A, I think it's boring. B, I don't like it, but I wanted to actually learn some women's brands because I live with a bunch of women, right? My daughters and my wife. So interesting to see how they buy clothes in the store, how they buy clothes online, and then how, what they're looking for and what are trends. So I think it's important to look at what the opposite sex is doing. Don't just be like a dude and like ignore it. Like pay attention, because then when you are out there sourcing, if you look at it as what would your future buyer want, and where do you perceive value, what type of item is that future buyer looking for. But it's hard, right? It's hard as a lady to put in perspective, what is a guy going to want, because this is like a guy item, right? But nowadays it's like, again, put yourself in the buyer's shoes. So I thought this was cool. Sold for $17, and it took a long time to sell. So maybe I didn't do as good of a job, taking pictures, but it was a nice quality. And again, I don't mind making donations, but I also don't like giving my money away. So it's kind of cool to recoup some of that. This was the wooden display that I literally was going to throw in the garbage. I'm like, you know what? Let me just wipe it down, get all the old crust off of it. It definitely needs to be sanded and refinished, which I did put in the comments. And someone from Las Vegas bought this. So if you're someone that watches my channel, hey, I appreciate it, but hopefully you enjoy this. I literally made no money on this. So after creating a custom box and putting foam around it, I probably lost $50 if you're paying yourself an hour, but I don't care. To me, it was like, I'd rather it go to someone that enjoys it versus just going to end up in a landfill. So sometimes that kind of stuff, I don't mind doing. Another silver coin that I lost money on not because of the sale, but I also mistakenly pressed promote listing. So instead of the normal 8 to 9% that I pay to eBay to sell a silver coin, I ended up paying them an extra 10%. So that's how I lost $2 on this silver coin. So when you are listing stuff on eBay, especially if it's low margin stuff that does not need to be promoted, definitely don't click that automatically. Same for this coin. I think I made $1 and I should have made way more. Like this is hard to find nice like this. Like this is definitely worth 100. I know I only sold it for 80, but again, I made the mistake of leaving it as a promoted listing and also letting it go on sale. So again, whatever. The next person will enjoy it. It's already shipped. It's on its way. Definitely lost money on the Trump round. Probably lost $4, which was stupid. So something like this, again, made the mistake of automatically having the sale. I will admit to my mistakes, but just because I made a mistake, I won't be like one of those sellers like, oh, I made a mistake, I got to cancel this. No, you ship it out, you learn from your mistakes. But I could have took this to a coin shop and got more money than losing $4. Like if I want to lose $4, I could have took it to the coin shop and lost $0 and just use it for money to buy stuff. Old genuine Nintendo DS Lite power cable. I found this while I was cleaning out the basement during the move, hence the horrible photos of this just in my hand, but it is an official licensed item. I found it in a bin that didn't even have electronics in it. I almost threw this in the garbage. Good thing I didn't. Turn that into $8. So if you find, or if you have any original, like it says Nintendo on it, anything, even power cords are worth money. Here's the disc one I sold. I already talked about in the last video. Here's one of the silver spoons I picked up less than a week ago. Real silver spoon, collectible. I got less than $1 into this, and I'm happy to share this with the next person for $17. I think this is cool because it shows how Chicago used to look before the Sears Tower, before the John Hancock building, before any of the tall buildings. This is like old school what Chicago used to look like. I think that's Navy Pier right there. So very, very cool spoon. And when you're shopping for spoons to source, to sell, and you're looking for silver, just look for sterling or the Mark 100. Old Xbox cables. So again, found this in a box, a brand new Xbox. Well, not a brand new, a used Xbox of mine. Sold the system many, many years ago. Just the box alone sold for 15, and these were the power cords inside. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why would someone need this? And because it only hooks up with the yellow for video and red and white for right and left audio. You're not going to get the highest quality picture. However, some people like to recreate that retro gaming experience, and they'll hook their Xbox up to an older TV. So you have, again, as a buyer, if you're putting yourself in the buyer's shoes, just because you don't no longer use an old school TV and you have a brand new HD TV or LCD monitor, whatever, you have the latest and greatest, doesn't mean that there aren't other people out there that don't have the luxury of having the latest and greatest TV, and they're still using an old TV, or it's a kid or it's a teenager and they're using the parents like really old TV, or grandma and grandpa's old TV. So don't just discard that. Again, put yourself in the shoes of the buyer and you'll be a lot more successful reselling your stuff. So I thought it was cool to get $9 for something that almost got thrown in the garbage, or would have just been included with the box and would have got nothing for it. My older CDs, just again, getting rid of those. I don't have the heart to donate them and them getting ruined. So that sold one of the shot glasses. So if you look at my prior video where I show what I sourced, again, I have $1 into the shot glass. I just thought it was cool. I thought it was very cool, very well made, USA, and turned the dollar into probably $10 after fees to eBay. Old McDonald's toys. This one's weird. This one sold to an international buyer. So I don't think Robot or Treasure Planet from 2002 is a really hit movie here in the United States. But for whatever reason, every single Treasure Planet Happy Meal toy, that was a garage sale I sourced back in June. They've all sold. They're all gone. And an international buyer bought this, meaning they probably paid close to $15 plus their VAT tax and everything to get this item to them. So pretty cool. But that's how sometimes McDonald's stuff goes. It'll go to international buyers because A, they don't have access to it, or they're just a big fan of some sort of Disney / McDonald's related thing, and they just it's worth more to them there because it's way less common. So I thought that was interesting. This is the season to sell Halloween stuff. This was a pin that you pull down the bat here, and then the ghosts do some spinning action. Pretty elaborate pin. I think it's a Hallmark. Yeah, HMK. That's for Hallmark. And I've, again, found this. Look at this crappy picture. I found this while I was going through old photos. Again, cleaning out the basement for the move, and basically found a $20 bill. So again, this probably would have ended up in the garbage or crushed during the move. So I set this aside. I listed it. And again, that's another way you can list using your cell phone. So, you don't have to have a special camera. You don't have to have special lighting to make a sale on eBay. Just be honest with your listing. Do a good job describing what it is and taking really good photos. In this case, the photos are okay. Sold another nice Morgan silver dollar, I think, to a guy who normally buys from me. And his concern was just the shading here above the 1882. But I told him that was like basically from the lighting, because it is a very reflective surface. But it's a beautiful coin. I really like this coin. and it's very difficult to find that year around here in Illinois. Don't sleep on older hip hop CDs, especially older ones. So this is that song by Blackstreet, I Like the Way You Work It. And this is a single. So sometimes the single, or they call them maxi singles, are worth more than the album because they did not really produce many of these. And sometimes people just want that hit CD. And again, I put my name on it so you know it's mine from my teenage years. I think it was cool. So for $9, took a little longer to sell, but all my hip hop rap stuff, a lot of my dance music, it's gone. And this is an old Kenner owner's manual from 1984. So if you're at an estate sale or garage sale and someone just has like old looking stuff like this, I don't even know what Rose Petal place is. Like I know Strawberry Shortcake, but I don't know what this is. This is like some knockoff or additional line that they tried that year, and it's got all the different dolls in it. So I think maybe someone bought this to have as a reference guide because this kind of stuff's a little more difficult to pick up. And I think one of the dolls I sold is in here too. Yeah. Anyways, that was probably listed 2 years ago, so maybe don't pick stuff up like that. It takes forever to sell. The other vintage spoon I sold, which I thought was cool, this had a cowboy on it, and has Wyoming. And I found it interesting that an international buyer, I believe, bought this, but this is really cool. Again, sterling. So that is 0.925 real silver. So if you don't like the design of the spoon, just the spoon alone is worth about $4 to $5 in silver melt, meaning I could take these in. I only got, less than $1 in each one. I can take them in and make $4 if I brought it to a local coin shop just for the silver alone. But I won't do that because I know people out there collect spoons, and that would be a shame, melting that stuff. Small Adidas pants, Shark self-cleaning. Again, I have all these different attachments from any time I purchase. So if you have an old vacuum or a newer vacuum that you bought and you don't use the attachments and they're just in your closet collecting dust, just sell them, get rid of them. If you never used it or maybe used it once and you just don't use that attachment during your cleaning routine, when you clean your place, what are you like? Again, I had like 3 of these because I had 3 different vacuums. So just sell it, get rid of it. So I listed a lot of attachments, and I noticed too from the move, I think I found like 5 more attachments that I have to list. But that's pretty much it. So that's what I've sold the last week. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Again, I'm here to help. I'm here to share my real life experience. I'm not here to sell you any program. I'm not here to get clicks. Like, seriously, that does not interest me. I just want to be a honest channel, show people from my own personal experience. This is not my full-time job. And making these videos on YouTube is for educational purposes only, but I do like to show you like real life. Like these are my actual sales. These are my actual experiences. I might, but then I don't know. I was thinking of getting the GoPro and going to the garage sales so you guys can see like what the suburbs of Chicagoland look like. Now there's already a guy that like does this in the city, but I don't think any channels go to the suburbs of Chicagoland. So maybe I could blow my channel up if I actually wanted to show all those interactions. And you could see like what a nice reaction or interactions I have with people, even people that I can tell like are tired or put off or they're older or they don't even speak the language. Dude, just be a nice person when you're out there buying. Understand when you put yourself in someone else's shoes, like, if you were putting on a sale yourself, the interesting characters that you come across, wheeling and dealing, whatever. But again, I might do something like that. It would be weird walking around with a GoPro because some people like just don't want to be recorded, and I'm not sure what the rules are here in Illinois. So I've only been showing you like, hey, this is what I got, and this is what I listed, and this is what sold. And I think a lot of the entertainment purposes or entertaining part is being taken out, which is finding the deal and out there sourcing. So I might try it, but I'm telling you what, I'll feel like a goofball walking around with that. So, and I know in my prior videos I've said I'll never do that, but maybe I need to. Maybe I really need to at least source stuff, because I find it entertaining, as long as the camera is not moving around a lot, which makes me motion sickness. But I find it entertaining watching when people source it, when they do the wheel and deal, then they're looking it up on their phone, and then they're asking that seller what they want for it. They get it, and then they show the comp of what it actually sold for. Like, that's pretty cool. And but the number one thing that I've learned too is, like, if you're going to go out there and source, I made it a rule to myself where I will not go out and source until I have listed the items I just picked up. So if you do one day of sourcing, let's say you go out Friday to garage sales and estate sales, and you come home with all this stuff, you should not let yourself go back out Saturday or Sunday until you've listed what you already grabbed, because otherwise you're just going to end up with a big pile of stuff. Now, again, some people are different. They'll take the entire weekend, the source, and they won't list. I'm totally different. I have to go out and source, list the items that I just sourced, and that way I'm starting with a clean slate the next day, or the next day I'm ready to source. So, it makes you a better buyer, a smarter buyer, and you learn from your mistakes too. So there'll be times where I look at something, like now with jackets, because I did pick up a Land Rover jacket. I'll show you guys real quick here. Land Rover. Well, it's probably 2 words. So I did pick up this jacket. Come on, where's the sale? Did I do it in 1 word? That's annoying. All right, let's put jacket. Oh, because I'm not. Hold on. Okay. So I picked up this jacket and I spent $15 on it because the jacket to me was a really nice looking jacket, higher quality. I thought Field and Stream was a higher end brand, but and it's made in Taiwan. But what really caught my eyes is it says Land Rover on it, right? So the guy's like, "Yeah, this is brand new," and I'm like, "It does look brand new. Like, it looks like I think their dad or someone owned it prior, but like maybe wore it once or twice." So I made the mistake. I looked at it, I'm looking for the holes, I'm looking for the stains, I'm making sure, it nothing's damaged on it, no cigarette stains, and it looked really, really minty clean. But then when I went to zip it up, the zipper was broken, and not the little pocket zipper, but the actual zipper of the jacket, like this part right here. So see right here, it was missing like 3 little teeth. So I was able to get the zipper past it, but then it kept failing. So like literally you could not zip this jacket up. And I did take a picture of it and I did mention it. But basically, as I said right here, zipper is missing 3 teeth and needs repair, complete replacement. And that's why I'm selling so cheap. And repair costs are 25 to 50 depending on the tailor. So I did make that apparent, but that was so dumb to spend 15 on it. I should have basically told him, like, "Hey, your zipper is broken. Will you take $2 for this jacket? Because otherwise you're just going to donate it, because no one's going to spend $50 to replace that, even though it was a nice jacket." But the seller told me, "Oh, it's brand new." People say that all the time, and you look at it, it's like, dude, it's not brand new. It's totally used. Brand new means tag. Brand new means never worn. Brand new doesn't mean worn and missing 3 teeth in the zipper and freshly washed. So everyone has a different definition of brand new. But anyways, I was happy to get my money back right away. I sold that weekend. But had I not listed this item right away, I would have made mistakes on other jackets or other items. So I ran into, where are these jackets at? I ran into this USA Nike jacket, which she wanted $15 for, and this vintage FUBU that she wanted $15 for, which I was happily able to pay her for. But I made sure the zippers worked. I checked for damage and all that good stuff, because I didn't want to make another mistake where it's like, "Oh, I got this cool looking FUBU jacket, but the zipper is broken. You can't get the zipper anymore because it's vintage. And now I'm going to get $22 for this and make 0 money." So I think it's important if you are going to source from garage sales and estate sales, don't just create a big pile because you'll then keep making the same mistake. So if these two jackets had broken zippers, I would have made the same mistake then 3 times. And that would have been $15, $30, $45 and zero profit. Whereas, as you can see, I picked up shot glasses for $1 that I'm 10xing my money on. So I think it is important. Again, personally, again, I know everyone lists and sources differently, but if you're going to source something, before you go out and buy more, list what you have. And I think that's a better way of learning and also not making the same mistake twice. So learn from your mistakes and don't just listen to people on YouTube.
I do not have any money.
So appreciate you guys watching. I know this video went long, and again, nothing against Jay Ride Flips. I think his channel is excellent, but dude, just stop saying something and then not fixing it. So you saw, guys, I sent him a comment. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but it's like, dude, I'm trying to help you out, man. Like, just fix your listings that have blurry photos, but then I'm going to unsubscribe because you keep telling me, hey, I do this on a daily basis. I check all my listings. Dude, you're not, because if you checked your listings, even if you just scroll through it, not clicked on them individually, you will notice that 2 of your listings or 3 of your listings have completely blurry photos. One of his listings doesn't have a photo at all. It's like literally a camera where they did like this. And it might have been the part-timer that he hired prior to, whatever the case may be, but it's literally like a picture of a blurry photo of like some wooden pattern because they didn't take the time to take the picture and focus it in. So no one's doing any editing, no one's checking, but your thumbnail on your listings is the most important. So if it's blurry or if it's too small or you can't see it, you'll never sell. It'll just be literally a waste of space in your store. So anyways, guys, appreciate, as always, watching my channel. Again, here to help out, and hopefully this helps you guys out. Catch you on the next one.